what a day. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Fight for Honor. I'm your host, Moltar, and we are here to honor our fallen warriors and contribute to the Folds of Honor charity. It is such a privilege to be doing this alongside Eagle Dynamics, Thrustmaster, Mover. I'm just happy to be along for the ride. So we are here for some BFM action. We had opening rounds yesterday, and it ran really smoothly. We got through around 50 rounds in just a couple hours. We ran 8 servers at the same time, and it ran really well. Everybody was really happy. Everybody was in good spirits, and really everybody was just happy to be contributing to such a fantastic cause. We got several matches coming at you. I'm going to try and do my best to really stay with everything. I'm going to try and get through as many matches as I can. We're going to try and do 2 matches every 30 minutes. Now, we're under some time constraints because I'm supposed to be running 3 matches every 30 minutes. So there is another one taking place, but BFM goes quick. So we're going to try and get these in as quickly as possible, and we are going to try and get you guys to see as much BFM as we possibly can. Because BFM, baby, if anybody was here when Top Gun was going down, it is the shit. There is so much excitement. You guys are going to hear my voice cracking. I'm going to be getting excited as all hell. We're going to turn up the volumes. The music's going to be blaring. The jets are going to be blaring. So make sure you got your TV remotes ready, because it's going to get a little loud. Your wife's probably going to be looking at you like, what the hell is wrong with you? Who is this guy yelling and screaming about airplanes? It's just me. You can just be like, babe, it's Moltar. He's got this. Because I got it here with you. First match is going to be Royal Win versus Dillon Biz. I'm going to send you guys real quick to a Be Right Back screen. You're going to see a lot of that today, but that's just me getting things situated so you don't have to look at my ugly face while I'm getting things ready to rock and roll. But to set the stage for you guys, aircraft are starting at 15,000 feet, 400 knots. They are free to maneuver in any way that they see fit, and they must maintain 70 degrees aspect within 70 degrees to stay hot on their Bandit. They are free to climb, descend, speed up, slow down. They're free to dump gas. They're free to do really whatever they want coming into that merge, except shoot before they pass in that initial merge. After that, it's balls to the wall. No bars hold. BFM action. So I'll be right back. I'm going to get these guys ready. It'll just take a few seconds, and we'll get this ready to rock and roll. Get ready. Fight of Honor's here. Let's do this. Here we go. Round 1 is underway, and like I told you guys, volumes are going to be pushed up because this is BFM, baby. This is the time to be alive. This is the excitement. This is going to be Royal Win versus Dillon coming in here, and they are flying F-15 versus Mirage as they come into this fight. So it's 8-mile separation coming into this. We got the shotgun that is the F-15, and there's our initial merge as these guys come through it. Both taking in the vertical. The Mirage looks like he's got a slight advantage with that F-15. May have the nose around. No, it looks like the Mirage. And he's coming around. Is he going to be able to get guns on target? He takes the first burst. Let me make sure I've got this right. That's Dillon in the Mirage. Royal Win is in the F-15. So that first burst coming off the Mirage was just a bit off target. He's got nose around again. Is he going to be able to get another ground on target? There's one hit. Doesn't look like it did any significant damage. I don't see anything. Nothing really big. I don't know. He's going to have a second round coming through. He does. There's some more gun rounds coming off that Mirage. And is he going to be able to stay on target? Dillon trying to stay on the 6 of Royal Win. Looks like he's doing pretty well as Royal Win fights for his life. What is Royal Win's position coming through altitude? Where is he? He's at 2,000 feet. He's got to break off. There goes the air brake. He throttles back so he doesn't plummet into the ground. But Dillon's doing really, really well. staying on his 6, and there is the kill as Dillon gets that Mirage's gun finally on target and rips off Royal Wind's wing, sending him to his death, and we are ready for round 2. Damn, that was fast, that was furious. Let's jump into round 2. Man, the Mirage just right off the get-go had the advantage. Dillon saying he's ready. See if Royal Wind's ready. Hasn't said he's ready yet. I think he's recuperating. All right, so he said he's ready. So here's the fight's on call. And we are going to watch from the Mirage's perspective this time. We watched from the F-15's perspective last time. This time, we are all about the Mirage coming into this fight, baby. So Dillon took round 1 in really what was a convincing victory. I mean, he got it into the initial pass. He was able to get the nose authority around. It looked like he took more advantage of the vertical coming in there and was able to use God's G coming over the top to be able to flip that around and really take it against Royal Wind coming into that fight. So Dillon G is up 1-0 here coming up against Royal Wind. There's the initial pass. Dillon throttles back, doesn't go vertical this time, as it looks like Dillon actually dove quite a bit as Dillon's down to 4,000 feet. And Royal this time looks like he's able to utilize God's G coming around here, and it looks like he has the nose advantage. He's in the better shooting position coming through here. Doesn't look like he's going to have a shooting solution. No, he's not. He's not going to have a shooting solution yet. He's going to have to wait for another pass. But, man, that is just how important God's G is here. And you can see right now he went vertical there a bit again, and Royal Wind is now again, or now, not again, in a very advantageous shooting position. Is he able to stay on the 6 of Dillon as Dillon tries to outmaneuver him and cut back to his 6? Dillon is flying right now at 160 knots, and it looks like Dillon's going to be able to reverse it. He's coming back in on the 6 of Royal, and I think he's done it. So he's come from the front of Royal and is now behind him. That is the low-speed maneuverability of what we have from the Mirage 2000 coming in here as Dillon reverses his position against Royal Wind and puts himself now in the driver's seat in this engagement. Looks like he's got pretty good nose authority. He's leading the target. Is he going to be able to pull the trigger? No, not quite yet. But Royal Wind may be trying again to utilize that God's G. It looks like that's exactly what he's doing. So Dillon is very, very slow. 160 knots. And Royal again goes to the vertical, utilizes that energy advantage, and is in a perfect shooting position. Can he capitalize on it? No! Barely misses and overshoots, and since Dillon is so slow, oh no! Dillon was so slow, he lost control of his aircraft, didn't have the lift, and we're going to round 3. Man, oh man, what an exciting round this has been. Dillon versus Royal Wind. We are one apiece. This shit is getting real, ladies and gentlemen. Man. Let's get round 3 started. Dillon says he's ready. Where's the ready from Royal Wind? Royal Wind says he's ready. Here's the fight's on call. And we're just going to go this time, whoever suits our fancy coming into this one, ladies and gentlemen and armchair aviators. Whoever has the advantage, I am going to try and switch to. So we're going to try and switch to whoever's on the 6. We've seen really whoever's defending from this point. We're going to see and try and get whoever's the 6. So we're watching from the incursion this time, riding from Dillon's perspective. Royal Wind is diving heavily. He's got the descent advantage coming in here against Dillon. Is he going to utilize God's G again coming in here? And will Dillon go back to his round 1 tactics and take it into the vertical? Looks like he's taking it in the vertical, but you can see the energy advantage that the F-15 has, but the Mirage looks like he's got nose authority coming on here, and I would put it in this position. The advantage of the F-15, is he going to be able to get a shot? No. Let's jump to the position of the F-15 of Royal Wind, but now the Mirage looks like he might have a firing solution. Is he going to be able to do it? Not quite. It looks like we're just in a horizontal scissor coming through here, but I think Dillon has got the 6 of Royal Wind coming through here. Through that scissor, Dillon came out a bit advantageous. got a bit slower than Royal Wind after the first pass and was able to shorten and decrease his turn circle to really get in behind Royal Wind. And is he going to be able to get a shooting solution? Royal Wind's not turning very tight, but I think Royal Wind at this point has the energy advantage. He's climbing. Dillon's at 500 knots. It actually looks like Royal's not pulling away. So right now the energy advantage is with Dillon. Dillon gets a couple rounds on target. Was that enough to cause substantial enough damage to Royal Wind's aircraft to pull him out? I don't know. Now Dillon has the altitude advantage. Can he use that to his prosperity coming through this? Royal Wind looks like he's trying to come around, but Dillon again has the nose authority against Royal Wind, and it looks like he's going to be able to get rounds on target. He causes a fire, hits the top part of Royal Wind's aircraft. Is Royal Wind down and out? I don't know. Looks like he might have lost control of his aircraft, and I think he's going to plummet and lawn dart into the ground. That is it. Dillon comes out on top. Baby, oh baby, what a round that ended up being. Back and forth the whole time. But Dillon Biz in the Mirage 2000 ends up taking it 2 rounds to 1. My voice is gonna be a wreck by the end of this. This is non-stop shoutcasting at its maximum. I hope you guys are ready, because it's gonna be non-stop for like 2.5 hours coming in here. So round 1 of what we're gonna see today goes to Dillon Biz in his Mirage 2000. I'm gonna send you guys to the Be Right Back screen as I get round 2 between Atweh 70 and Grumpy Finn figured out and underway here in just a few minutes. So guys, we'll be back. Give me a few, and we'll get some more BFM action coming out here in just a few seconds.
Loading turbo engine accelerators. Status confirmed. Checking gravity. Status confirmed. Sequence initialized. 3, 2, 1, 0. Rampage mode activated.
We are back. Grumpy Finn versus Atweh 70 for what we are calling round 2 of this round 2 day of Fight for Honor. Again, if you're just joining the channel, I'm your host, Moltar. We are hosting a BFM tourney. This is day 2. Yesterday we had 50 matches go through, and we are in round 2, the 8th finals of Fight for Honor. Grumpy Finn versus Atweh 70. They're ready. They're ready to hit fly. So let's see some more BFM action. So I'm going to ask if the pilots are ready. I hope you guys are ready for this the whole day, because I'm amped the hell up. And I hope my voice doesn't just absolutely get shreked, but I am ready. Man, got some good food in me today. Ready to go. Pilots say they're ready. I'm ready. Here's the 3, 2, 1, and the fight on. So we are ready to rock and roll. Let's jump into the pit. We got Grumpy Finn and Mirage, and we got Atweh and a flanker. The first flanker of the day, the second Mirage of the day, and why the hell not? Let's see what this flanker's got going for us as we crank up the flanker here a little bit and watch him come into the action. Fat man, you need to calm your tits, man. I'm amped the hell up. This is BFM. This is where the party's at. You guys just got to come to the party, ready to party and rock and roll. There's the pass. I'm going to give the advantage here to Grumpy Finn coming in here. Atweh's got way too much energy as he's coming through at 550 knots at 13,000 feet. And Grumpy Finn, now on top of having nose authority, has the altitude advantage. If Atweh gets nose authority, I think Grumpy Finn's just going to hang up there in the altitude until he gets Atweh 6. Looks like that's exactly what he's doing coming through here. And Atweh's actually over the speed of sound at 600 knots at 7,000 feet descending. And I think this is where it comes in for Grumpy Finn, as I think he's got the 6 now of Atweh. And Atweh needs to slow down a bit to get that sustained turn rate. And the sustained turn rate for the flanker at this fuel load, which is around 50%, is going to be somewhere in the ballpark of 300 to 400 knots. So he needs to slow down a bit. Come out of gate. Slow down a bit. Maybe utilize God G a bit coming through here and get that end around in the sustained turn rate. Did he use God G enough? Oh, he should have kept it in the vertical, but he's diving away. And doing so gives Grumpy Finn his 6. Let's flip over to Grumpy Finn's perspective. We're now watching from Grumpy Finn's perspective. He's trying to maintain the 6 of Atweh, and ever so slowly and ever so carefully is getting closer and closer and closer. There's some air brakes. He needs to dump some energy to try and pull his nose ahead of Atweh here. Atweh trying to fight for his life. We're descending now through 5,000 feet. Grumpy Finn's airspeed's at 400 knots. Oh, he broke away! Why'd he break away? What was that about? Man, I don't know why he broke away, but he's still in a fairly good position coming through here. I don't know why he was breaking away, but now they're at a head-on pass. Is Grumpy Finn ever going to get his nose up enough? No, as they come through that turn. Grumpy Finn's got to reverse it. I'm going to turn this up. The sound of these aircraft is like sex, man. It's great to wake up to in the morning. I don't know. Hopefully you guys like loud, because I sure as hell like more ways than one. But Grumpy Finn looks like he's trying to get the nose in front of Atweh, and Atweh this entire time has been doing nothing but defend. There's the kill shot. Is he able to pull the trigger? Gets a couple rounds on target, and that looks like the left engine from Atweh's now smoking. And Atweh's actually lost the left rear stabilizer, horizontal stabilizer, and I think he's in a flat spin. I think that's it. He's lost energy, and I think he's going to lose it here. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the end of round 1. Coming in here between Grumpy Finn and Atweh. Atweh really did nothing but defend in that matchup. So let's get these guys reset. I'm going to update the scoreboard. And we will see round 2 between Grumpy Finn and Atweh here coming at you. Roundabout. The aircraft may be French, but the pilot of Grumpy Finn is definitely Finnish. Pilots are resetting. Atweh giving Heath the ready. Try and watch more from the flanker's perspective this time. Grumpy Finn saying he's ready. So there's the 3, 2, 1. And the fight on. So let's jump into the cockpit with these boys and see if Atweh is able to recover. Now being down 1-0 against Grumpy Finn here coming into round 2. Going into descending here. I'm assuming they're descending because they want to take this fight into vertical. They don't want to have the really thin air that they're having an altitude above 15,000 feet. Where is Grumpy Finn? Where is Grumpy Finn? Grumpy Finn has already somehow found the 6 of Atweh. I don't know if Atweh just lost track of where Grumpy Finn was, but Grumpy Finn is now trying to already fight for shooting position on Atweh here coming in this round 2. Where is that Mirage? Rounds coming on target. Here from Atweh. Atweh tries to take it into the vertical against that Mirage. Grumpy Finn may have a decent shooting solution here, but he's got a bit too much energy to attempt to stay quite on the 6 of Atweh. Bleeds a little bit of that off, taking it further into the vertical as he maintains and continues to maintain the 6 of his opponent. Like to see Grumpy Finn try and keep his altitude here and use that altitude to his advantage, which will allow him to maintain his energy state and then dive down when he gets a better shooting position like he just did. So rounds on target from Grumpy Finn against Atweh. But it looks like, there's some better rounds on target against Atweh, and Grumpy Finn, ladies and gentlemen, I think is able to take it 2 rounds to 0. I think Atweh is out of commission. Gents, yeah, that's it. His engines are off. And Grumpy Finn able to take that round in a much more commanding fashion than round 1. And dispatch his opponents with some 20 mil. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so what's going to happen, and you guys are going to see this quite a bit, it's that they're not going to be long breaks, but I'm running these matches at the same time, so now I've got to go get the next round of guys set up, and we will be getting the next round underway here in just a few minutes. So it's probably going to be around 5 minutes for me to get the next round ready to rock and roll. We're going to see another 2 matches, and I have a feeling we're going to see some good action. So this is the 12:30 matchups. If you guys aren't familiar with who's flying, make sure you head over to splash1gaming.com/FOH. I'm going to send you a link here right now so that you can keep track of who's flying coming up, and what action is getting ready to unfold in the future. So guys, be right back. We got more BFM action coming at you here in just a few minutes. Are you ready for round 2 or match? This is match 3 already. Are you guys ready for match 3? Because I'm sure as hell ready for match 3. Man, opening 2 rounds. Baller. And I expect nothing but a continuation of baller BFM action. So I hope you guys are ready. I have said this repeatedly, that this is the most exciting shit in DCS. 1v1, man and machine against each other. This matchup, SF Fatman versus Delta 2 Echo. If you guys got wagers, now's the time to put them in. No money to contribute. You know, you can't really bet against each other. But if you want to yell at each other or pick favorites, do it now. All right, let's see if the teams are ready. Where is my cursor? Where is my cursor? My cursor has just... Oh, it's on the wrong computer. There we go. Wait for these guys to give the all clear. Looks like we got an F-18, and Delta is not in here yet. Let's listen to the sexual sounds of the F-18. Oh, you see. Let me see what's going on, guys. I'll be right back. Let me see what's going on with these guys. All right, crisis has been averted. At least I think it has been averted, as Delta 2 Echo forgot that he had mods installed. That could be a problem. But he forgot he had mods installed, so I think he's gotten that fixed, and he said he's uninstalling mods, and I think he's ready to go. He had one of those moments where he loaded in. It was like, why is my DCS a black screen? And I talked to him for a bit. I do this enough. Me as in Moltar, do this enough. That I know exactly what that black screen is, and it's integrity check. Doesn't really kick you out every time anymore. It'll just say, F you, man, up yours. Here's your black screen. You better figure out what the hell's wrong with your install. I don't know why it does that now. There's Delta. He is logged into the server. So we are going to have... Sorry. Getting really hot as I'm shoutcasting into the microphone. But Delta has loaded into the server, and I think we are ready to go. Fellow aviators, let's give them the ready. See if they're ready to get some BFM love going in the air. Who do you guys got with this one? I see a bunch of guys saying Fat Man. He's got it coming. Delta says he's ready. Is Fat Man ready? No green light from Fat Man yet. Fat Man. Come on. Come on, Fat Man. I love that name. Fat Man. For those of you that don't know, Fat Man is the reason why the upcoming third-person perspective cameras are called Fat Man Cluster. Because he generously donated a bunch of gear to me to get this project off the ground. So, major shout out to Fat Man for making the Fat Man Cluster possible and getting it off the ground, getting it started. So that... hats off to you, sir. I really appreciate that, and bringing everybody, all of these fine viewers, more DCS action. So I'm waiting on ED to give me some licenses. If that doesn't come through, I gotta buy some licenses. Batman has not given me the ready. You better hurry up. But how is all your guys' fine day? We got 143 people in here. Fatman says he's ready to rock and roll. So let's get this show on the road. There's the 3, the 2, and the 1. And the fight on. So these guys should be loading in. There's the F-18. So Fatman, they're both in F-18s. Let's get some party music in here. Too boring. As these guys come into the fight, F-18 versus F-18. Man and machine against man and machine. Aircraft are given no advantages or quarter here as they're both flying the same thing. Both these guys come into gate high in the merge at 15,000 feet, over 400 knots. Batman takes it in the vertical, and I think utilizing God's G, he's going to have the nose authority advantage coming through this first pass. And it looks like indeed that is the case as Delta tries to take him back into the vertical, and Batman may have too much energy to be able to turn with him here. As we hear that characteristic F-18 whine coming through that second merge. Batman taken back into the vertical. Still really, no, he's not very fast, 250 knots. These guys are really using that instantaneous airspeed, the max turn of these F-18s to their advantage. We may see gunshots in a head-on pass. There's rounds coming from the F-18 of Batman. He gets a couple rounds on target and removes a bit of the flap from Delta. Delta able to reverse it here? Slow speed. More deflection. 4 rounds on target as he's able to find the 6 of Delta coming through here. Where is he? Did he die? No. We were just missing him because Moltar's camera work is god-awful. Oh, but Delta is slow. Oh, and he just rakes him with, oh, baby, M61 to the face. Both of Delta's wings say, I've had enough. I cannot take the strain. And Batman just gives Delta the fat one and wins round 1. What, man? I love seeing fights where it's the same aircraft against the same aircraft. There's no advantage given in any way. It's just who's the better pilot. And in that case, Batman just demolished Delta in that scenario. Delta says he's ready. Batman says he's ready. 3, 2, 1, and fight on. This time, let's ride along with Delta and see if he's able to reverse his fortune coming into this fight. So we're here with Delta. Not what I wanted. Coming through this fight, turn up the volume a little bit. We'll see the F-18 Delta pass. Song is not intense enough for this BFM action. Here comes the merge at 15,000 feet, 450 knots. There's the pass. Batman immediately takes it in the vertical as Delta sidesteps it, making a left-hand bank turn. And I think this is going to be a really good opportunity for you guys to see the utilization of God's G as Batman is able to utilize the force of gravity on top of the force of G that he's putting into his airframe, as well as the severe bleeding of airspeed. And you can see the nose authority that Batman has gained diving on the top of Delta. If he's able to utilize or manage his airspeed coming in on Delta 6, I think he's just found himself in a perfect, opportune firing position. Here comes M61 rounds finding their target, ripping off this time the right flap of Delta coming here. This song is not intense enough. I think that's GG. As we see Fat Man going back into the vertical. M61 rounds coming on target again. Not quite accurate enough to solidify this round, but more and more fragments coming off the aircraft at Delta. This time the left wing, as we saw Fat Man fly by. And I think I hear at least one engine, it's both engines from Delta, taking a poo on him, saying they've had enough. And there goes the left horizontal stab. There goes the left wing. And that is all she wrote as Delta's F-18 gives the ghost. And Fat Man is able to take it 2-0. Kudos to Fat Man for that commanding performance, and well fought by Delta in that one. Let's give Fat Man the victory flyby. Woo-wee! BFM action, nothing like it. So ladies and gentlemen, I'll be back here again. I got to get the second round set up and underway. More BFM action coming out here in just a minute. We are back. Lieutenant Skits versus T-Par. F-18 on F-18 action. Mano y mano. I am ready to rock and roll. My voice is going to give out before the amplitude that I've got flowing through my body slows down. So let's ask if these guys are ready. Man, Fat Man versus Delta in that first F-18 matchup was... I think it's the sound of the F-18. Song is not amped up enough. This one will do. Here we go, boys. F-18 against F-18. T-Par versus Lieutenant Skits. Who's going to come out on top? Let's crank up that NATO afterburner sound of freedom. First pass is coming in here at 15,000 feet. As we come through this, both of them take it into the vertical. We're watching from the perspective of T-Par as we're passing 20,000 feet, coming down through 300 knots, still in the vertical, and I think T-Par is the first to give it and take it back into the horizontal, but doing so has given Lieutenant Skits all of the advantage that he needs to get that nose around. And I think T-Par is in a world of trouble as we hear that drone of the M61 coming down as they descend now through 15,000. And Lieutenant Skits is still maintaining the 6 of T-Par as T-Par fights frantically for his life. Are we going to see another M61 shot there? No. And T-Par still defending frantically. We can see the wing vapor coming off. Still at 300 knots, coming down now through 6,000 feet. Is he going to force the overshoot? I guess if he was going to try and do that, we'd see the air brake come out, but T-Par has to give up the fight in the vertical descent. And I think doing so has given Lieutenant Skits a possible firing solution. Not quite. Man, oh man, has this been an intense one so far? T-Par doing everything that he can to defend, and as soon as I put camera angles there, T-Par takes an M61 burst to the ass and gets his left wing vaporized, giving him the round 1 win. Looks like we're resetting for round 2 here. Asking if the pilots are ready. This is not conducive to our BFM action. The music is not. Lieutenant Skits says he's ready. And somebody was asking which sound mod I'm running. I'm running my sound mod from Moltar's sound pack. It's a collaboration of a bunch of different mods from all over the place. Lieutenant Skits says that he's ready. We're still waiting on T-Par coming in here. While we're waiting, let's get some follow-ups on who's followed, who's subbed, so on and so forth. So Just Iceberg, Willie Baby, Captain Haggis, Abracadabra, Raptor, Hawks, Enraged, Dillon, Michael, Lima Oscar, Wake, all thank you for the follows. Bullet dropped a party of 26 and then dropped 1 bit getting it started. And then Grumpy Finn with the tier 1 sub for the following 6 months. Appreciate it, guys. And then Mike Lansing coming in with the follow. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. Just need to find out if T-Par is ready. And then I will give the countdown and we will be getting going. Doc of Myrrh, thank you for the follow as we sit here and wait for these guys to issue the ready commands. We can get round 2 off and rolling between Lieutenant Skits and T-Par. All right, so he says he's ready. And there's the fight on. Let's get some more sounds of freedom in here from the F-18 as these guys ingress. Sorry for the broken eardrum. Coming in again at 15,000 feet, so staying high, this time under 400 knots. We can see now riding from Lieutenant Skits' perspective as he comes into the merge with T-Par that he's trying to maintain the altitude advantage. They both shoot it into the vertical, both taking a slight right offset. And who's going to have the advantage here? Who's going to stay in the vertical longer? They're both pretty equal coming through so far. I'm going to give the advantage to Lieutenant Skits again because he's maintaining his altitude a bit better. But with his current angle, he's going to overshoot T-Par, and T-Par is going to get it 6. You're going to see T-Par maneuver in here as 6, and that was just, Lieutenant Skits just gave it to him. If Lieutenant Skits was able to maintain his altitude a bit better, but is T-Par going to overshoot? No, T-Par is able to stay behind him. So right now I'd like to see Lieutenant Skits take it back into the vertical, because as he continues to descend, he's allowing T-Par to compensate and stay on his 6. So as long as Lieutenant Skits descends here, in my opinion, now I'm not a BFM expert by any stretch of the imagination, but as long as he's descending, T-Par is going to have the advantage and be able to compensate and stay on Lieutenant Skits' 6. Lieutenant Skits' 6. That's a tongue twister. Any of those rounds going to fall on target? No. They are slightly off. And who's got the energy advantage? Lieutenant Skits is at 400 knots. So he may have more energy as T-Par tries to maneuver his nose for shots on target, and he just keeps missing. But T-Par, as Skits continues to dump his altitude, is just able to reposition himself and stay behind, and there's rounds on target. Left engine fire coming in from Lieutenant Skits, and we may be going to round 3, baby. Will T-Par be able to finish him off? Lieutenant Skits still has both engines available. The fire's gone out as he kicks it back into gate. Got engine smoke coming out. But T-Par maintains that altitude advantage and is able to continually fight for the backside of Lieutenant Skits, in my opinion, because of it. Taking the fight back into the vertical, and now Lieutenant Skits is on the 6 of T-Par. Will he be able to capitalize on this one as we fight back into the vertical? T-Par reverses it, dumps all his altitude. Who's going to be able to come around on their opponent first? Definitely Lieutenant Skits, because T-Par broke away in the opposite direction. Lieutenant Skits is at 350 knots, maintaining 4,000 feet. Oh, you think Diet Coke thinks T-Par is out of gun ammo? Definitely possible. That was a liberal use of gun by T-Par's in the early parts of this match. So will a damaged Lieutenant Skits be able to reverse this? He finds himself on the backside of T-Par, coming in here low altitude at 300 knots. Oh, and he gets an awesome shot and ejects both of T-Par's wings from his aircraft, solidifying his victory in this matchup. 2-0. Both wings, one shot. Lieutenant Skits, victory. All right, boys, we're jumping to round 2, or match 2. Sorry, so just give me a few minutes to get these guys set up and ready to rock and roll. I'll be back with you here in just a bit. Weird song. Not cool. All right, guys. We are back. More BFM action coming out here in just a minute. Ace versus Heath 962. We are kicking off the 1 o'clock hour. We got 3 matches coming up in the next 30 minutes. I got to take off my sweatshirt. Moltar is stripping on this stream. I wish you guys, I had a webcam for it. I do, but you're not going to be able to see it. So whatever. Oh. You guys get to see my receding hairline again here in just a minute. Whew! How's everybody enjoying Fight for Honor today? I'm stoked. I haven't been this excited about air combat in a long time. And I think it's because it's BFM. 160 people along here watching the party. Got a couple more subs. Farinelli22 and Just Call Me Habs. Thanks for the T1 subs. And if you guys don't know, it's September this month, so half-price subs. That does not include gifted subs, so just a heads up about that. But if you do want to sub, all the money just goes back to making all of the events, all of the streams here at DCS World Events better. I am not in this for internet fandom. I am in this to bring you guys the best competitive DCS that I possibly can. Thank you to S2 Grumman for the follow. Ravage Talon, thank you. And Just Call Me Habs drops the 200 bits. Thank you, brother. Much appreciated. Let's make sure these guys are ready. I don't know what these guys are flying. F-14, Ace driving the turkey. First F-14 of the day. He's saying he's ready, just waiting on Ace and his Tomcat goodness. So we get to see the 2-man crew, though he's not going to be a 2-man crew. He's rocking Jester, coming at it here. Will the F-14 be able to outturn the Mirage? Asking to see if Ace is ready. I'm excited about it. We haven't seen a Mirage yet. I think we got Stooge flying a Mirage here in a bit. I know he's been talking about it. Come on, Ace. Give me the ready. Give me the ready. Ace says he's ready too. So there's the 3, 2, 1, and the fight on. And guys, I'm going to be a little bit biased. We are riding along with the perspective of the Tomcat. Just because it's a mother trucking turkey, let's do this. Both these guys descending rapidly through 10,000 feet. Ace is at 500 knots. He better bleed a bit of that airspeed, or that Mirage is going to eat him for lunch. But that Mirage is also really fast. Looks like Heath takes it more into the vertical than Ace. Ace takes it horizontally in a right-hand fake turn. These guys are really fast. Ace is still over 500 knots. So I'm going to give the advantage here to Heath as he takes it more into the vertical. But Moltar, you are flat wrong, as Ace has the nose advantage and is now looking nose hot at the backside of Heath as Heath descends down past 10,000 feet. Is Heath going to be able to reverse it? No. Ace is doing a pretty good job of staying on the 6 of that slowing down Mirage. We can hear the turkey going down through idle. Oh! And Heath looks like he's able to reverse it using that altitude to maintain his energy state, but lengthen the turn and come in on the backside of Ace. What a maneuver. Oh, he didn't follow it through. Heath, what are you doing? He gives the fight right back to Heath and lets Heath get right back into the action. But I think he's able to reverse it again, coming through. He's got a bit of an altitude advantage. Is he able to keep it off the deck? He is. He's pulling back in onto the 6 of Ace. No, he's not going into the vertical. I guess he's trying to maintain his energy state. How slow does that Mirage get? Oh, the Mirage is really slow. So that makes sense. He's not able to pull it into the vertical because of how slow he is coming into this fight. The Tomcat is doing much better at maintaining his energy than the Mirage is. Can we see rounds? There's a couple rounds coming off. He gets a couple hits onto the Mirage. Is that the end for Heath? Ace using the vertical really well to lengthen that turn, falling back in onto the 6 of Heath. Is he going to be able to get more rounds on target here? Heath looks really slow. Rips off the nose cone of Heath's Mirage. But I don't think that spells the end. Heath's really low. No, Heath's able to control it and stay into this fight. But Ace is just not put enough rounds on target yet to solidify his victory here in this 8th finals matchup between him and Heath. And that, ladies and gentlemen, I think is it. As the right wing disappears and some of the left wing disappears from Heath's aircraft, I think Ace is able to take it. Indeed he is, as Heath plummets into the ground here in this round 1. Make sure Ace is ready and we'll get this party started again. The F-14 is just flying off into the distance there. There's the fights on. These guys should be loaded in. We're going to ride along from the perspective of the Mirage this time. Will Heath be able to come back on this one? Ace is leading in the turkey 1-0 as they come through the merge. Tomcat looks like he's got a significant energy advantage as the Mirage is already down to 240 knots. I think the Turkey's able to come in on his 6 due to that energy advantage, utilizing the altitude, just diving down like the bird of prey that he is to try and snatch this round 2 victory and the overall match win coming through here. But I think Ace just had a bit too much energy. Would have liked to see him take it back up into the vertical to prolong that turn so that he could just drop down back into the 6 of Heath. Granted, hindsight 2020, we do see everything. The pilots in the actual pits of these aircraft probably don't see as much, but Heath looks like he's getting his energy back, passing 350 knots at 1,000 feet, may be able to fly through with the Tomcat. Man, look at what that Tomcat's able to do here in the vertical. Rounds were just a bit off target there. Where's the Tomcat hidden by Heath's Mirage? Look at that verticality. Is he able to pull it around fast enough, or is he just going to go straight back up? I think he's just going to go straight back up, and that's what he should do. What I think the Mirage needs to do is turn this into a horizontal fight. If he tries to play the vertical game with that F-14, he's going to lose every single time. And the Mirage's energy state's getting dangerously low. It's under 300 knots now. Tomcat with those straight wings is going to have great slow speed nose authority, and he gets rounds on target with that single burst, ripping the left wing off of Heath's aircraft, giving Ace the match win in this 8th finals matchup. What a round. What a display of F-14 airmanship. Well fought by both teams, but congratulations to Ace here in this fight. And with that, guys, I'm going to get the next round set up. More BFM action coming back with you in just a few minutes. We are back. Our next matchup features Pancakes and Bacon. I just had that for breakfast. Versus Banzai. Here's the 3, 2, 1, and the fight's on. So we are already underway here in this 1 o'clock matchup, second round. And it looks like it is F14 versus F18. An all-NATO matchup. We're going to run right along with Pancakes and Bacon coming into this one for round 1. Who do you guys think is going to come out on top? Is the turkey going to be able to do it again? Or is the F18 going to sting it, take it out of the sky? There's the merge. Look how big that turkey is coming into this fight. How is Pancakes and Bacon going to contend with this? Looks like Banzai hasn't taken it into the vertical yet, but Banzai has already come around and situated himself all over the behind of Pancakes and Bacon. That F-14 is like a predator positioning himself for the pounce and kill. And I think he's going to have a gun solution here relatively quickly, and that 20 mil is just going to pulverize Pancakes and Bacon's aircraft. Don't see it yet. Pancakes and Bacon utilizing that instantaneous turn rate, forcing Pancakes and Bacon to overshoot. Banzai to overshoot. Is Pancakes and Bacon, is the breakfast man gonna be able to reverse his fortunes? I don't know. Banzai utilizing the verticality of the F-14, lengthening that flight, not allowing the Bacon Master to come in on his 6. But the F-18 is getting mighty, mighty slow. 180 knots at 2,000 feet. He's going to lose nose authority here in just a second. Will the Baconator... Oh, no! Oh, no! Oh, I thought he was going to lawn dart. Oh, he did! He lost nose authority, lost lift, and just plummeted into the ground. Man, not a good way to go out as no rounds were fired. Get ready for round 2. Will the Pancake Man be able to resurrect himself? He lawn darted. He trash canned. He just bamboozled himself into the ground. That is not a good way to go out. No, sir-ree. Both teams, both guys saying they're ready. There's the 3, 2, 1, and the fight on. So we are underway in round 2. Is the Baconator going to be able to reverse his fortunes coming in here? We're going to ride along with the Tomcat this time. Oh, they didn't switch sides. We'll reset here, get everybody resituated. And there's the fight on call, so we're going to ride along with the turkey again. These guys, there's the turkey. These guys get situated. Let's listen to this thing come in to the action area. Ooh, wait! Gotta love the sounds of jet fuel in the morning. But I don't see a F-18. Guess the Baconator wasn't ready. We'll get it fixed. We'll get everybody going. Guys, I'm not from the South. I'm from Kansas. Some people may think that it's from the South, but just because we go outside when there's a tornado and I chase it with my American flag does not mean I'm a worse person, okay? Roundabout, you be careful. Oklahoma can't make fun of anybody. Oklahoma is like the behind of the United States. Okay, it is That's a pretty bad place. I'm just kidding. I love Oklahoma. But maybe I love Oklahoma because I'm from Kansas. Maybe they do make fun of me. I don't know. All right, let's try the sound again. So good. Coming into this fight, we're going to try and do an F3 flyby as these guys take it. I'm going to zoom into the vertical coming into this. Here it comes. There goes the F-18. The turkey makes a left-hand turn, doesn't take it into the vertical as he lights the cans and tries to get the straight-winged aircraft around as quickly as possible. 320 knots at passing 10,000 feet. There's the F-18, and I think the Baconator's awake this time as he's taken the bacon grease of goodness and trying to spill it all over Banzai's ass in this BFM fight. Pancakes and Bacon takes it into the vertical, and I think that nose around was nice. But Banzai takes it back into the vertical, and I think he may have the nose authority here coming around on the Baconator. I think he's fighting for the 6, and I think he's going to get it. He does, as I think that's just a case of the F-18 running out of energy, and I really hope he doesn't lawn dart into the ground again. Real quick roundabout, there's a mod link down below, I think, or they're on the Splash One Gaming website. You can go get them. They're available. Rounds on target. Left wing leaves the Baconator. That is like the Wendy's double Baconator with only one patty and no bacon. That is what an F-18 is like with no wings. And Banzai, driving the turkey to its fullest, dismantles the Baconator in this round matchup 2-0 and ejects to solidify his commanding victory in the skies. All right, I need a couple seconds. Round 3 from the 1 o'clock hour coming at you here in just a minute. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back, and I did not change the names because Moltar is a noob and doesn't know what the hell he's doing. There we go. They are now fixed. And we are going to have 104th Stooge taking on DJ Larson. And 104th Stooge is flying an F-14 with a human Rio, 104th Maverick, and DJ Larson is flying the F-15 Eagle. So let's ask him if they're ready, and let's get this third match of the 1 o'clock hour underway with more BFM goodness. So there's the ready, there's the 3, 2, 1, and the fight is on. Here we go. Strap in. It's going to be a good one. DJ Larson descending slightly as he comes through 400 knots and 13,000 feet, and I think really Stooge is dropping a ton of altitude, and I think he's going to convert that altitude in the increased energy straight into vertical altitude, and that's exactly what ends up happening. Is he going to be able to maintain this energy state as DJ Larson is through Mach 1? Stooge is taking this into the horizontal. I thought for sure he was going to take this into the vertical, but doesn't, as he takes it into the horizontal and positions himself perfectly on the back side of DJ Larson. DJ Larson's going to have to do something to fight for this. Stooge doesn't really want to fight and fly through Larson. Instead, takes it into the vertical, and I think he's just going to drop down onto the 6 of Larson coming through here. Indeed, he rolls over. Is he going to fight through that? There it is, coming down from increasing to decreasing altitude. Larson recognizes that, puts his nose on. Is he going to be able to get shots on? He's in a good position to get him 61 rounds on target. Is he going to be able to do it? There's the rounds. Couple rounds hitting the right side of Stooge's aircraft. Is Larson going to be able to stay in position, or is Stooge's altitude advantage right here going to be able to take him the win? DJ Larson still fighting to stay on the 6 of Stooge and Maverick's turkey here. But Larson is able to come through that little vertical turn, and he finds himself again on the 6 of Stooge's aircraft. So Stooge, I thought he had the advantage coming in here from the beginning, but it's now the complete opposite. Larson is in control right now. But Larson may be dumping too much energy as he comes down through 280 knots, descending. But I say that, and I think he's just following Stooge, but Stooge somehow has reversed fortunes and is now on the 6 of Larson. And I think this is just a classic circle fight, and they're on opposite sides of the turn circle. Who's got a better sustained turn rate? Larson says, it ain't me, so reverses course, and that may be the end, as Stooge may have a good firing solution here momentarily. There's the nose coming around, and there is good rounds on target, as Larson's left wing and right vertical stab say, peace out. And Stooge able to reverse it and finds himself the winner of round 1. Yeah, I think, guys, I really think that reversal from Larson. That reversal from Larson. Reversal from Larson was what sealed the deal there. That was the coffin, the nail in the coffin. That ended it there, unfortunately. As soon as he reversed, it gave Stooge the availability that he needed, or the turn authority that he needed to be able to get rounds on target, and that's exactly what spelled Larson's doom. Asking if these guys are ready. Stooge says they're ready. Haven't gotten the all clear from Larson yet. Larson says he's ready. And there's the fight on call. So this time, let's ride along with the turkey, Stooge and Maverick. They did not switch sides. Got to do the ready again. DJ Larson says they're ready. Stooge is ready. And there's the fight on coming in here. Again, we're riding along with the turkey this time. Air brakes out. Stooge and Maverick dumping altitude. I'm going to assume again that they're going to try and take this into vertical. 500 knots, 5,000 feet, turning it from descent into ascent. And as I say that, it's not an ascent, it's just a right-hand bank turn as they come through here. Who's going to have the six of the other as we come out of this initial turn? I think it's going to be Maverick and Stooge coming through here. Maverick and Stooge are definitely in the better position in their Tomcat. They have the altitude advantage. They have, I think, the energy advantage. So they're 460 knots at coming through 5,000 feet. And Stooge is what looks to be just dropping it and coming back in on the six of DJ Larson. We're going to see a left-hand bank turn. There's the left-hand bank turn into a two-circle fight. And I think the F-14 is just going to have more of a sustained turn rate. It's got a massive advantage with those long, straight wings. And look at that instantaneous turn coming from Larson. Where did that come from? But I think he bled. Yeah, he's like completely out of energy there. Rounds on target only took one burst. And this time, instead of a single wing, it is both wings. And Stooge says, GG. And ejects DJ Larson 96 from the match, giving himself the round 2 victory and the overall match win. Well done, guys. Well flown by DJ Larson. Congratulations to Stooge and Maverick. Well flown. And guys, I'll be back in just a minute as we get the next rounds set up and underway. More BFM coming at you in just a minute. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. For any of you guys that are new or haven't been part of this channel or seen what's going on, this is Fight for Honor. 100% of the proceeds are going to Folds of Honor. It was a $20 entry fee, so we've raised over $2,000 for Folds of Honor. And my name is Moltar. Typically, I do Say-Tell. I run DCS World Events, and I'm here in conjunction with Eagle Dynamics, Mover, Thrustmaster, and of course, Folds for Honor to make this happen. This has been an awesome event. It's Fights for Honor and has been nothing but BFM. Just asking the guys if they're ready. They are not responding. So, okay, they're ready now. There's the 3, 2, 1, and the fight's on. So this is not cool music for this. We got another F-14 and an F-18. So we got a lot of full fly modules coming in here, and we're going to see Gates. We're going to turn up the volume here. Coming into the fight, these guys are coming in fast and furious, 15,000 feet, over 500 knots. And who is the other guy? One Watts is in the F-18, and Fair and Nasty 510 is our man in the Turkey. So who's going to be able to utilize their aircraft to more of an advantage coming through here? Looks like it is going to be One Watts as that F-18 is getting around. He is finding himself in a very, very advantageous position on the 6 of this Tomcat. Is Fair and Nasty gonna be able to get away from him? Fair and Nasty's over Mach 1. He's got the energy advantage. His engines have much better or much more power than the F-18 does, so he can't outrun him. And if he takes him into the vertical, that F-18 is gonna be in trouble. The question's gonna be, is One Watts gonna be able to get shots on target before Fair and Nasty's able to do that? And One Watts is getting close. One Watts has found himself a firing solution. No rounds on target yet. Better be careful with that ammo. Better be careful with those wings. They rip those off. Is he able to reverse it? Not quite. Is he able to stay in control? I think. Is he going to be able to pull out of it? I think he's going to be able to, but One Watts looks like he's still got the advantage, as this Tomcat's now below 200 knots. How fast is One Watts going? One Watts is almost 400. So One Watts definitely has the energy advantage there in that one. One Watts looks like he's coming in another firing solution. Fair and Nasty dropping some airspeed. Rounds on target. Smoke now coming from the backside of that Tomcat. And that looks like it's it, as the pilots and Rio of that Tomcat eject headlong and face first into the ground. Round 1. One Watts. 1-0 over Fair and Nasty.
Malta, are you there?
What a round. I think was just One Watts finding himself in a better firing position than Fair and Nasty at the very beginning. One Watts was able to use that instantaneous turn rate of the F-18 to get around, and Fair and Nasty just couldn't get away from it. So here's round 2 underway. One Watts up 1-0 in this round, or this match. We're going to watch from One Watts' perspective this time in his F-18. Let's turn it up for this flyby. One Watts in here at 15,000 feet, 500 knots, both coming in very quickly. Are they going to take it in the vertical or into the horizontal? If I were in that Tomcat, I want to take it in the vertical, and that's exactly what he does. One Watts decides, I ain't having none of that. I'm taking this in the horizontal fight, and breaks into a hard left-hand bank. One Watts is at 550 knots. You can see that Tomcat utilizing God's G, I think he's going to have the advantage coming around right here. Could have guns, rounds on target here. This could be a really quick round. That nose authority, he's got some shots. Is he going to be able to get any on target? No. He had the opportunity, couldn't capitalize on it. Is that going to spell disaster for Varanasi coming through for the rest of the round? Tomcat's still trying to find the 6 of One Watts' Hornet. Varanasi looks like he's got the altitude advantage. Looks like he's driving this fight in this descending spiral towards the ground. One Watts is 500 knots, 5,000 feet descending. And Varanasi just may have a bit too much energy in this turn fight. I'd like to see breaks out maybe. There's some rounds coming down range. Nothing quite on target just yet. I like the burst rounds, not wanting to waste any ammo. No rounds quite. Oh, there's a round on target. But is he able to pull out of that or did he black out? Oh no, he blacked out! So he tried to pull hard to get rounds on target. And Varanasi, in the course of doing that, spelled his own doom. Man, that is unfortunate, but that is the conclusion of match 1 of the 1:30 hour between One Watts and Varanasi. One Watts takes it 2-0. Guys, I'll be back in just a minute. Got to get the next round ready to rock and roll for you guys in more BFM action. We are back, ladies and gentlemen, this time with a match between Coke and Feisty as we come in here to the second match of the 1:30 hour. Let's see what these guys got going on. We got an F-18 being piloted by Coke as he comes in and gate into this fight. It looks like the other guy, Feisty, is also in an F-18 and he's dumping fuel. He says, I'm not light enough. I gotta be lighter. We've come through the merge, right along with Feisty. Is he still dumping fuel? He's not dumping fuel anymore, but Feisty has the altitude advantage. Is God's G going to allow him to get his nose around quicker than his opponent, Coke? I think Feisty has got all of it for Coke. Coke, for whatever reason, broke away, but Feisty, I don't think Feisty sees him as Feisty takes it back into the vertical. Interesting, very interesting. Does Coke see him? Do they see each other? I know since they're both on the same side, data link definitely works. Peer-to-peer data link, they can see where each other is. They definitely see each other. Feisty was looking out the right side of his aircraft. He definitely knows at least approximately where Coke is. But Feisty not wanting to give up his altitude advantage that he's got going in here. Sorry guys, just answering a question here real quick. And this has just been a slow man's game jockeying for position. And neither one really wants to get close. Feisty looks to be turning into Coke here finally. Feisty just really does not want to descend, and I think what ended up happening there is Feisty just lost track of where Coke was. This may just be a battle of situational awareness and who's able to better utilize their Mark II eyeballs as this fight progresses, because gas, boys, is going to become progressively more and more of a problem as this match continues to take place. Feisty finally sacrifices his altitude. I think he sees Coke and is now taking it into vertical. Feisty's at 450 knots, passing 10,000 feet as we come through here. Coke just looks like he's taking his time, biding his time, not wanting to overcommit. But Feisty, meanwhile, is coming in on the 6. What is Coke's energy state? Coke's not very fast. Coke's in gate, but... Oh, sorry, that's Feisty. Coke has a lot more energy potential than Coke does. He's at 550 knots, while Feisty is at 400. Sorry guys, I'm gonna bring Stooge in here with me. Stooge.
Yeah.
Hopefully, guys, the volume.
I can commentate now if you want.
No, the volume. I'm just checking the volumes. I'll send you the password for the server. We're in server 2 right now.
Gotcha.
Fight's still going
okay.
Between Feisty and Coke.
All right, I'll hop in.
You know the password already.
Yeah, server 2.
So guys, this is Stooge. This is Stooge, one of the pillars of the BFM DCS community. He knows absolutely nothing about gunfighting. So do not listen to a word he says about anything that is taking place. Feisty gets rounds on target and removes both of Coke's horizontal stabs. And we see Coke plummeting in what looks to be a flat spin, and I think that's the end of round 1.
Hi to everyone. Thanks for the invite, Moltar.
Yeah.
I'll be right there.
We did this last time with Top Gun, so I think we're good. And now I've got somebody that actually knows what they're talking about instead of just me spewing nonsense.
I'm not sure it looked that way in our fight before because we had some difficulties for sure.
No. You blame that on Maverick. I'm just kidding. Maverick's not here to defend himself.
No, he's not.
You gotta make do.
So, Game Master slot, yes, and let's go.
Yes, sir. Yep. So these guys are resetting. Coke and Feisty have just given the all clear, and I know this is going to be a little weird, guys, because Stooge is going to be looking from a bit different perspective than what we're looking through on stream, so just be aware that his eyes may not be seeing exactly what we see. So we're going to give them the fights on here. And here we go into round 2 of this 132nd matchup of the day between Coke and Feisty. F-18 versus F-18. If you were coming in here, Stooge, mano-y-mano in the same aircraft, especially the Hornet, What would you be looking to do to capitalize on this?
It all depends on the closure rate, right? If the enemy comes really fast, then you gotta match that, or you might be out of energy really soon. Okay, here is a pretty slow merge, like 400 knots on one side, on Feisty's side.
Yeah, the last round was really slow too. It was like an unwillingness to engage for part of the merge, if you will. It seemed like they were just kind of jockeying for distance position, and then once one of them found themselves in a unsurmountable position, they capitalized on it. But it wasn't anything that happened very quickly. It was slow to develop.
Yeah, to me it looks like Feisty has a way better speed control. Coke is constantly overspeeding, and it's kind of hurting him. As long as the Feisty sees his target, he's now going to get closer to a good position.
Right. Now, when you say overspeeding, for the guys that don't know, when you overspeed like that, you're increasing or lengthening your turn circle, correct?
Correct, yeah. And decreasing your turn rate at the same time.
Right.
Because when you're too fast, you can pull all the G you want, but you still won't get the turn rate you want.
So a couple rounds coming in on target on Feisty, from Feisty onto Coke. Doesn't look like there's any structural damage coming in there.
There
it is. There's the long burst, and there is definitely structural damage coming now. So Feisty against Coke, and like you just said, that better speed control, in my eyes at least, is what allowed him to capitalize and get that gun solution to be able to take Coke out.
Correct, and once the gun solution is there, and then Coke just didn't defend the gun well enough or at all. And that, of course, that's part of what enables the kill, is that you don't have gun defense.
Right.
Right.
We're just waiting on Coke to plummet to his doom. It seems undeniably that that's going to happen, missing a wing. But, you know, Feisty could make a mistake, black out, or lawn dart himself, and that could be the end of it. But seeing as Feisty's flying upside down, I don't really see him having a problem.
He's gonna red out. Just watch. He's
All right, guys, so that's the end of match 2 of the day. We're going to get ready for match 3. Hopefully you guys will enjoy Stooge. He's going to be with us for the next hour or so.
Yeah,
or 30 minutes, about an hour. To talk to you guys about the more involved parts of BFM combat. So, guys, be back with you in a few minutes as we get match 3 of the 1:30 hour underway here with Fights for Honor. See you guys in just a minute. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are on match 3 of the 1:30 hour between Jimmy B63 and Striker DG. So I don't know what these guys are flying. We will find out in just a second. Both competitors are saying they're ready, so I'm going to give them the countdown. And there it is. And the fight is officially underway of this match 3 of the 1:30 hour. So let's jump in here, see what everybody's flying. We've got Striker and Strike Out, both in F-18s. So Strikeout, I think, is Jimmy B63, but we're gonna refer to him as Strikeout coming in here. Looks like Striker here, Stooge, is dumping fuel.
Yep. It's a pretty slow merge again. Oh, Striker's gonna get a nice angle here because he actually set up the pre-merge.
Right. Now, when you say set up the pre-merge, what do you mean by that?
He turned below the bandit before the merge and then kind of pulled up there. And the other guy didn't do anything. He was just flew straight into the merge.
Yeah, but this head-on pass. Oh, I thought that could spell disaster for Striker there. He didn't have quite the nose authority or nose on target that Strikeout did coming through that high to low pass. But it looks like the energy advantage or higher speed that Strikeout had just diminished or demolished his ability to turn coming down through that descent. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, the problem with two Hornets is that it can be very aggressive. Like, you can swing the nose so fast, you get head-ons extremely easy, and that's what happened there, right? So even if there's a little bit of a difference in, where the advantage seems to be, it's really easy to end up in a head-on if there's even a little separation between the bandits. But here now we're having a bit more of a controlled situation where Striker is gaining. Might even get a shot here.
He had good nose lead on target there. Strikeout able to defend it decently well.
Here he's got to watch out for the overshoot, but nope, that doesn't happen.
He got guns on target. He's able to manage his speed well enough to get a few more rounds on target as that smoke is rapidly darkening. And I think Strikeout is in an uncontrolled spin, descending there, and that's the first victory for Strikeout. So we're going to reset and get round 2 underway. Do you guys like the music being on, or do you like just hearing the sultry sounds of Stooge and I's voice coming through here? Music is good. All right, we'll leave the music on.
Music is always good. You know, Moltar, I used to fly with music when I was younger. Like, I was too shy for, comms or anything like that. So I would hop on the World War II servers and just fly with music all day long, 2-3 hours a day, just with music. It was nice.
All right, so round 2 is underway. Yeah, well, sometimes music can be your friend, brother. I mean, you just got to embrace the ambiance of the sound around you.
Yeah,
you don't do it anymore?
Usually people want me to talk or shit. I don't know. Blame the 104. Blame Maverick.
People are overbearing. People are overrated.
Exactly.
Let it be by myself. So these guys coming into the merge again. Strikeout. We're riding along with Strikeout this time. 500 knots, 15,000 feet. And at this point, at this airspeed, would you be taking it into the vertical?
A Strikeout has a good airspeed, but he has to do something with it, right? He's way higher and faster, but he has to stay up here. He cannot down. He cannot go down from here. If he starts going down like he is now, he's kind of giving away that advantage that he has. Well, now that doesn't look that bad actually. Okay, there's a mistake. You see how he went straight down? He gave up everything he had. Like, he had a good position there, but he just gave it up by.
Now, when you're talking about giving up the advantage, what you're doing is, since you're descending and you're increasing your energy state, like your airspeed, you're not able to turn effectively fast enough, and you're giving the opportunity for your opponent to make a choice and stay higher as you fly past them to then transition in on your 6. Is that a good explanation of what you're talking about?
I guess somewhat good. You lost me there for a moment, but I was just thinking,
and
I tend to oversimplify.
Oversimplifying's okay. Makes it easier for people to understand. We saw a couple rounds find their targets on Strikeout's aircraft. Wasn't enough to cause significant damage. We don't know what his system's state is, but Striker's doing a decent job of staying on Strikeout 6, and I think that is the engine giving out and giving the ghost. And then a big major burst coming from Strikeout, just demolishing the right wing a big burst coming from Striker onto Strikeout, just demolishing Strikeout's right wing. So what was the defining factor there, Stooge? Was it the descending, when he had the altitude advantage and then decided, I'm going to come down with Striker?
Yes,
Was
exactly.
that what really
caused
him to lose?
Yeah, that's what switched the balance. Like, Strikeout had a good position because he had more airspeed, more altitude, and he was actually in a somewhat level turn. And had he stayed there, Striker couldn't have followed because he was like 200-ish knots. He was too slow to follow that turn, all the way on the horizontal circle. But unfortunately, Strikeout decided it's a good idea to dive instead of turning horizontally. This sacrificed his altitude advantage completely without gaining him any angles in the process, right? So he gave away the altitude but didn't gain anything with that. So
Okay.
that's the defining moment in this fight.
Well,
for sure.
Good insight into the eyes of a BFM fighter. But guys, I'm going to take a second. I got to get the next 30 minutes of fight set up, so it's going to take a few minutes. More BFM action here in Fights for Honor coming at you in just a few. I'll be right back, Stooge.
Gotcha.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are back with the 2 o'clock hour now. First match kicking off between 141st Arco and Sabre 219. Not sure entirely what these guys are really going to be flying. I don't see Arco slotted in yet. Stooge is in here in Game Master for commentary. But Sabre has not loaded in yet. He said he was loading, but he's not in yet. So it looks like Arco is going to be in a Mirage. Stooge, are you here?
I am here. Hello.
Stooge is here. Okay.
The
Gotta
Mirage.
wait to see what Sabre's gonna pick here. Now, if you were fighting a Mirage, Stooge, and let's say you're in a Tomcat, since we don't know what Sabre's gonna be flying yet, how do you take on a Mirage, given its flight characteristics? I mean, what benefit does the Mirage have against all the other aircraft in DCS?
The Mirage, the benefit of the Mirage is that, first of all, it's extremely good and stable when it pulls hard, like even at slow speed. So the instant turns are very, very tight, very hard, very easy to do. It doesn't spin around or anything, which means it can win one circle geometries very easily. Any kind of one circle where tight radius is important, it will win those easily. And how do you counter that? Let's say with a Tomcat, it's simple. You force it into a two-circle geometry. That's how you beat a Mirage, because the Mirage doesn't sustain. What people don't, I think people aren't really aware of that much, that the Mirage doesn't sustain a turn as well as maybe actually most of the other fighters. Right. So you force it into a two-circle, whether it's a two-circle on the deck or a two-circle in the 3D space. Like if it's in 3D, you force the two-circle by putting your lift vector into the lag or behind the bandit, possibly even behind and above the bandit, because that's kind of a place where the bandit has the hardest time to reach. So you just keep going there. Did the fight start?
Not yet. We're gonna do it right now.
So so you force it into a two-circle, and then the Mirage is done. And then you watch out for the overshoots, and that's it. Same thing with the Hornet here, with Chunky. So the Hornet has to try and force it into a two-circle, then the Hornet will be strong. If not, if the Mirage can fight in one-circle terms, then it's going to be strong. So
looks like they picked the same side. So what about the Mirage versus Hornet? I mean, what does the Hornet need to do? Because obviously the Hornet doesn't have the same capability as the Tomcat in the turn circle.
Actually, it does.
Or in the two-circle, sorry.
Actually, the Hornet does. The Hornet is just one step slower from the Tomcat when it comes to sustaining turns, currently. Like the Tomcat is the top dog for sustaining, and the Hornet is right below that, but still very high on the list. So if I were Chunky here, and can you hear me, by the way?
Yeah.
Yeah. So if I were Chunky, I would force a two-circle also. Same strategy against the Mirage. Try to avoid one circle, try to force two-circle. In 3D or on the deck, anywhere you can. And the Mirage has to force one circles to get advantage.
Guys, just to clarify, Chunky is Sabre. So just a heads up that what they show in game is not necessarily what they signed up as. So its scoreboard can be a little bit misleading. So Chunky is Sabre.
I never use multiple nicknames.
No, I always use the same one.
Yeah.
I figure people are going to hate me anyway, so I might as well use the normal one.
I don't hate you.
No, you do secretly. You just don't let me onto it. All right, here we go. I was kidding, Steve. Riding along with 141st Arco in his Mirage, coming in against Headlong against Campbell in his F-18. See how these guys do it at the merge. Is somebody going to take it in the vertical, or are they both going to go into the horizontal? Chunky looks like, or Sabre looks like he's dumping fuel. We've seen several of the past F-18s do that. And it looks like Campbell's going to take this in the vertical. Is this a wise decision? Stooge taking that in the vertical with the Hornet against the Mirage?
Yeah, sure. It's a good, because they were both pretty fast, so a vertical start is good. Because you get some of that airspeed into altitude immediately, and now you see he's got a nice, but it might be a head-on anyway.
No rounds on target for Campbell coming through that.
Now the Mirage can pull hard with Gauss G and possibly get into a good position here. That was a one circle geometry.
That's the disadvantage of coming through that. If you miss that shot, you're giving the advantage to the person with the higher altitude. Is that correct?
As long as they can capitalize on this. And it was also a one circle geometry after that. And like I said, Mirage is perfect for one circle geometry. So he just pulled back.
Can you break down for the people that may not know the difference between one circle and two circle geometries?
I would need a drawing board for that, but it's like, like overall, like if the bandits are turning in the same direction, it's generally two circle, and if they're turning in the opposite direction or towards each other nose, then it's a one circle geometry. Right. I can try to explain when it happens. Okay, this is a
rounds on target from Arco, and I think that was a mistake done by Campbell as he tried to reverse his turn right in front of the Mirage's face, and he just puts 30 mil all over the backside of Campbell.
Yeah, nice shot. As soon as, what was his real name? Chunkies.
Yeah, Sabre.
Yeah, Sabre. Once Sabre overshot in the vertical dive, then I think he couldn't get out of that bad position after that.
No, and that's a mistake a lot of people make with what just happened. Is they'll find the bandit on their sixth and they'll think that they're going to gain an advantage by reversing the turn, but in actuality, you're giving a monster advantage to the person behind you.
Yeah, in this case, gravity is the biggest enemy. When you dive straight down, you're already fast, and then you have gravity accelerating you even more. Then you miss your gunshot, you'll find yourself in a steep dive at 600 knots. What can you do? Nothing. Your turn is crap, and even the air brakes won't save you because you're just too fast, and the other guy just pulls back down with a little of gravity assist, and that's it. Okay, let's see what happens.
Coming back into the merge, riding along with Sabre or Chunky as Chunky starts to dump fuel. Arco comes through the merge, and Sabre he takes it into the vertical slightly, but this looks like more of a horizontal approach coming through here. And Arco just rolls over, dives, and tries to split us and reverse his fortune, and then takes it into the vertical afterwards. So now the Mirage, Stooge, has the altitude advantage coming through here.
I think he's going to do exactly the same thing. You see the Mirage's nose is all... Oh, he lost sight. He might have lost sight here. You see the Mirage, it's turning, but it doesn't see the Hornet. So...
He could have blacked out.
Oh no, Arco lost sight. It's not a blackout, because if it were a blackout, he would just keep flying straight. But he's turning and he doesn't... They don't see each other. So this is a... This happens easily.
Well, the Hornet has an advantage here because he has data link.
But they don't have AWACSs here, do they? Or ground radars?
I guess it'd have to be Hornet versus Hornet to get the peer-to-peer, so never mind. Yeah.
That info was actually funny when you mentioned it. You see, they don't see each other. They're completely blind, and well, we just find until somebody finds someone. It's easy to kind of look and laugh, and oh, they lost sight, and like it's like
hard.
It's so hard. People don't understand it. By watching this, you don't get the idea how hard it is to lose sight. Especially, you got all kinds of things in the cockpit that will block your sight, and then the sun glare and all kinds of. Okay, now I think never mind.
So in this particular situation, Stooge, how do you go about, in your case, trying to regain situational awareness of where your opponent is? Do you have a certain scan procedure that you use to try and locate them, or what do you do in the cockpit to try and relocate a lost contact